If you want to start print on demand, you have to watch this video, because in this video, I'm going to give you the honest truth about print on demand. After working for top 1% stores like this one, and of course this one, and also growing my own store to 77,000 sales in just 2 years, I have accumulated some knowledge when it comes to selling on Etsy. So in this video, I'm going to give you the honest truth about print on demand. If you want to start that business, you have to watch this video. Hi guys, welcome to Talk Shop. My name is Vlad. If you're new to this channel, this is where I help you guys to scale out of your room, scale out of your plastic printers. Why? Because you are going to increase in your sales, because that's what you want to do. So in this channel, I reveal all my tips and tricks that I've used to grow my store to where it is at today. Now, I don't brag for the bragging's sake, but I just want you guys to not miss out on the opportunity to hear the content I have available for you in this video. I'm the #1 pet product store in terms of daily sales. You can check with eRank and look at the daily sales, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to making a business that truly makes a significant impact on your life and on the lives of others, as I also have other employees that work for me, so I'm able to create jobs. If that's the kind of scale that you want to grow your business, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification for more videos like this to be notified. Without any further ado, let's talk about print on demand. Print on demand is one of those things that people want to jump on very quick. Why? Because you don't need any upfront costs, you don't need any machinery, you don't need any inventory. All you need to do is put 5 hours of work and you can start making money to where you can afford a Lamborghini. But that's not the truth. That is a flat out lie. Look at all the YouTubers that promise you great success with print on demand. Look at their Etsy shop. Now, if they're not making it clear what their Etsy shop is, that should make you wonder a little bit. Now, if they are revealing their Etsy shop, look at their sales. Look how many sales they are making every week or every day. Now, the way you can find that out, if you have been following my channel, is look at their reviews for each product and categorize it by the newest review and see how many reviews they get each day. The ratio is about 5 to 10 orders per one review. Now, if they're not getting one review a day, well, they're probably selling less than 5 to 10 sales a day. And that should concern you, because if they're telling you that you can make a significant income and they're not even doing well on Etsy, well, you have to start thinking maybe this is not a great path, or at least great advice to take from them. Another thing that really gets me, and that's why I started this YouTube channel, a lot of YouTubers, they hope to make money on YouTube, not really on Etsy, because Etsy hasn't been as successful, but they find that, hey, what if I make another passive income stream making YouTube videos on how to be successful on Etsy? But in reality, they're really not. If you still want to do print on demand, you have to come to a realization that you are not going to make that much money from these sales. Now, you might make 1, 2, or maybe even 3 sales a day, maybe even 5 to 10 sales a day. But because you're selling t-shirts, or because you're selling something that doesn't have a large price tag to it, you're not going to make that much money, because the profit margins are just too small, and you are going to have to sell your t-shirt much higher than those people that do print their own t-shirts, which is something you need to consider. So you have great competition and you have small margins. So that's something that you really need to take a look at and say, hey, this is not going to bring me the main source of income. It might not even be the second or third. But this is just going to be side money that gets to pay for my cell phone bills, for adding some money to my rent so I don't have to pay as much rent. That's a great way to think about making passive incomes to pay for some of the bills throughout the month. But it is not going to be what buys you a Lamborghini, and that's something you need to come to a realization with. Now, another thing you need to consider is you must sell something that has a necessity element to it. For example, when you're selling, say, a water bottle, right? You can sell a water bottle with a cool design, print on demand water bottle, but you can sell something with a name on the water bottle. Why? Because when kids go back to school, moms want to give their kids a water bottle so that they drink their water, but they're probably going to lose their bottle. So They want to personalize it. They want to write a phone number on their bottle. So there is a functionality that a mom goes on the Etsy and says, I need to buy a water bottle for my daughter. Now, I do want her not to be embarrassed of the water bottle, so I want to make sure the graphic design is really nice and really something my daughter would want to keep with her all the time so that she can drink water. Let me find a personalized water bottle, right? There's a need, there's a necessity attached to it. You can sell print-on-demand water bottle, but that's more of, it takes away the necessity and just gives you the design or the I want to. When you sell the I want to only products, you're having a lot of friction because people don't have to buy your product. But when a mom goes on Etsy to find a water bottle with a personalization, she is determined to buy that water bottle because there is a necessity element to it. Another example is if you're a bride and you want to get your bridesmaids some t-shirts that have their name on it or their title in the bridal party. So she wants to get t-shirts such as bridesmaids, maid of honor, matron of honor. So you are adding a functional element to it. That's a great product if you do want to sell print-on-demand t-shirts. However, that is a very saturated niche. So, which brings me to my next point. I would recommend that you would sell other products that bring those customers that have the necessity, like I need to buy t-shirts for my bridesmaids. Maybe you can attract them in the beginning with a different product, like a bridesmaid's gift of some sort. That's a great way to bring those customers in to beat the competitions that are selling t-shirts like Bridesmaid, Bridezilla, Matron of Honor, and things that have a functionality to it. It's very important to understand that you will need to get a little tricky and crafty when it comes to selling that product. You would need to think much higher than just, well, I'm going to put this product out and hopefully somebody will buy it. Another technique that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, and that is to fill your store with so many designs, so many keywords that you're going to, though they're going to really slowly drip into your store, but because you're going to have so many designs, so many keywords, you're going to have a better chance of selling more products. And that works, but that only works if each listing that you do, let's just say you went crazy on posting new listing every day or two listings a day or 5 listings a day, and you got to your 400 listing store. But the problem is when you post that many listings, your quality of each listing goes down. Now, if you have bad quality listings, you don't want to sell those products. Why? Here's why. When you decide to run advertisements on your product, if your listings have a poor quality, the chances of customers buying that product goes down, which means you are more likely to spend money without getting sales. And if you have 400 listings that are being advertised, the chances of you losing a lot of money sooner goes up. You're more likely to lose a lot more money because you have a lot more listings that are trying to advertise. So you have to be careful when you're making that many listings. Now, if you are going to work hard, and on this channel we encourage you guys to work really hard, and you're going to make those 400 listings very nice, and you're going to find the best way to Photoshop, and quite frankly, you're going to have to Photoshop a lot if you're going to do that many. It's kind of hard to print that many shirts and do that much photography. You're most likely going to have to make some Photoshopping elements in the design, in your listings. Now, what I would recommend is taking, say, 5 or 6 different types of t-shirts and doing 5 different photo shoots with them being blank, and then start editing them and make sure that your store looks a little bit less like this and a little bit more like this, because you don't want your customers to feel like they're not actually looking at the real product. They're just looking at a digital representation of the product. Etsy is all about authenticity. It's all about making things by handmade. So you want to make sure that you make the customers feel like you are an expert in t-shirts, or you're an expert in the product that you are selling, and that you're not a person that's just sitting behind the computer, never actually having to dealt with the product yourself. And another very important thing that you need to understand when you are selling print on demand is, have you ever, or do you normally wear a graphic design on your t-shirts? For me, for example, I always get t-shirts with no design. And if there is a design, it's most likely because it's a company like Nike or Adidas or any other company that is large enough brand, and it just so happened to be that their shirt's really nice and I want to buy that shirt, but they have a logo on it, and that's okay, and I'll buy it. But for the most part, you don't go on a third-party store or a store that you don't know about, product you don't know, brand you don't know about, and buy a lion on your shirt or a lemon or some, if there is humor to the shirt, it only appeals to a certain type of people that like to wear humor t-shirts. So you have to realize the practicality. Do people want to wear graphics on their shirt? And you want to make sure you satisfy as close as you can to a need-based, not just a want-based product. Now, another misconception that the YouTubers will tell you, well, it's all about conversion rate. For example, what they'll tell you is, let's just say the t-shirt sells for $20, right? Because print on demand takes about, say $15. So you only have $5 to play with. Now you're thinking, well, I don't need to keep the inventory, so as long as I make even a little profit, it doesn't hurt me because I'm not the one doing the work. Well, what the next thing they'll tell you is, well, let's just say you advertise and your conversion rate that brings you to where you have to spend about $3 to $4 per sale on each product. That's great. Now you're making $1 per each sale, or maybe even $2 if you get better. And you didn't do nothing, you just made those $2, and if you can sell 100 t-shirts, then you're gonna get $100 or $200 a day not doing anything. Now that sounds great in theory, but in reality, if you have a $5 to play with, which is what, 25% to play with, oftentimes when you're selling a want-based product, you are going to spend a lot more than selling a need-based product. A need-based product, like I said, they do go on the internet. For people that do want to buy something they actually need, they're more likely to buy it, which means the click-through rate is much higher, which means you're more likely to sell to this customer at a lower marketing cost. Print-on-demand stuff is oftentimes not a necessity, and that's what makes the print-on-demand market very difficult in order to keep that price below what you're hoping to get in terms of price point. Therefore, oftentimes, even if you do start to advertise, say on Instagram, on Facebook, or on Etsy itself, you will find yourself that you're going far beyond what your profit margins could be. And people say, well, it's an investment. I'm going to invest right now so that then I can retarget them with email ads, or maybe they'll recognize my brand more and more, and I'll start growing, and that, marketing cost is going to go down. Now we're going back to the same problem because it is the want-based product, which means they're less likely to have to come back, say, okay, I need to refresh this product, or I need this product again. I'm going to go to the same store. It becomes a lot more difficult to get return customers unless, like I said, you do email marketing. But when you do email marketing, what's the likely chance of them needing to get another humor t-shirt or another t-shirt that has a graphic design on it? You have to be very realistic on what kind of products you are actually selling. Now, another point that is very important to note, that when you are selling a t-shirt that just has a graphic design in it, it might be a good graphic design, it might be a bad graphic design, you always will face the same problem. People can always buy a cheaper t-shirt elsewhere. So they don't have to buy it from you even if they're set on buying a t-shirt. They can buy it from anybody else, which means you are going to always compete with price point. China will always outsell you on the price point. So you are going to have one of the greatest friction, and that is your price. Because print on demand, they do charge quite the penny when it comes to, selling your t-shirt. So you have to go up on that price. So you're always going to face that great of a friction. What I would recommend is think about running your business where you actually fulfill your orders yourself. You don't have to have a printer to do this. You can save up money to get a printer, and they are getting cheaper as technology is getting better, but you can try vinyl. Get a vinyl cutter for say $200-300 from Joann's and cut out just very simple software. It's pretty easy to use. You cut out the personalization or the design in Silhouette, and then you heat press that onto a t-shirt. Also, what you can do is you can sublimate. What you would need to do is use polyester t-shirt, and you can have a sublimation printer. Now these are a little bit more pricey. They're about $500 to $600, but what you do is you then sublimate the design. If you do want something more than just a silhouette, you sublimate that design onto the t-shirt, and it works great. Now the problem is also that it has to be polyester, and that's a lot of times a turn off. But also what that allows you to do is having the printer or the equipment to do other things like Christmas ornaments, like personalized water bottles. And this is something really important to think about. If you are going to put a lot of effort, and it does take a lot of effort if you do want to start making significant money, might as well put the effort into having your own machine, something you can control, because the moment you start to improve your process, you are improving your profit margins. With a print on demand, you cannot improve your profit margins. You can only improve it from one end, a very small portion. And that will give you a better success when you're running your business on Etsy if you are truly committed to your Etsy business. Hopefully this video was useful. If it was, smash that like button. And if you are selling print on demand, what are some of your greatest struggles that you are running into? Write in the comments below. And I hope to see you next time.